Hello, students. This is Professor Lorenzo, and welcome to today's online class. Today, we're going to get started on our next segment, which is the short story essay. But as it is with anything we learn, we need to first define what a short story essay is. A short story essay is just an essay you use to tell a story. And everyone in the classroom and everyone you know can tell a story. You've either told a story to friends, you've had stories told to you, or you've seen movies, watched television shows, read books or comic books, all of which told stories. And the stories, of course, we're talking about are fiction. So the next essay you write will be a made-up story that you'll create yourself. However, if we take a look at the exact definition of a short story is a work of fictional and narrative prose with a few characters, limited setting, and a single major event. A short story is meant to be read in a single setting. Short stories are no different than anything else we've been talking about when it comes to literature. They must have a plot, setting, theme, character, and point of view. All of you are familiar with what those are. And it must be told using figurative language, using metaphors, using similes. Short stories are always better when you use language that's a little bit more fancy. When you describe things instead of just telling people what they are. That was from our class we had last week, which is about showing instead of telling. So short stories are all about showing instead of telling. Telling you do in a research essay. Short stories, you do a lot of showing. So, as in any writing, before we write a short story, what we need to do is put together an outline. And an outline of a short story simply has a setup, the inciting incident, rising action, climax, and as you know, falling action, and then the resolution. So there is a video here. It's about 5 minutes long, and I'd advise you to take a look at it. It'll be in a static lesson. I'm not going to play it right now because I want to get through this particular video. But make sure you take a look at this video in a static lesson because it's a very good one for explaining story structure in a more detailed manner. Now there are 7 basic types of stories, and this is some experts disagree. Some believe there's only 3 types of stories. Some believe that there's 10 types of stories. But this definition will work for our class. And so the 7 basic types of stories are: first, overcoming the monster. In other words, the hero learns of a great evil threatening the land and sets out to destroy it. Then we have the quest. The hero sets out on a mission, facing many obstacles and temptations along the way. Then we have comedies. We have rags to riches, a voyage and return. In other words, someone goes on a trip and then comes back. Then of course we have the tragedy, and then we have rebirth. What I want you to do when you do your stories, I want you to fit into one of these types of categories. Remember that the criteria in our short stories, first of all, should meet one of those seven categories we just talked about, but also there should be plot, setting, main and secondary characters, conflict, point of view, theme, figurative language. However, in a short story, let's go back to characters. In a short story, you don't want to have a lot of characters. You really want to have just one main character, and the secondary characters should only be mentioned. You don't want to talk too much about them. You don't want them to use a lot of dialogue. The reason is because it confuses the story, and you're going to try to get this story done in at least less than 5 pages. So you don't want very many characters. Your setting, you want it to maybe happen in just one period, in one specific time and time period rather, in one location. You don't have to mention season. It might be a good idea, but keep it simple. The conflict is always simple. The point of view, whether you use first person or third person, just make that clear, and try to use an easy theme for someone to pick up on, and that someone is mainly me, because I'll be grading your paper, of course. Now, the homework you're going to have before you start writing the essay is filling in a story structure template that I have posted in Canvas. You can download the template, and in each box you'll be able to type in your explanation of the various points of a story. You'll be able to type in the exposition, the conflict, who the protagonist is, who the antagonist is, the rising action, climax, plot, falling action, resolution, and theme. The reason we're doing this is because this is an outline for a short story. We've done a lot of outlines, but this is a short story for an outline. Now, I'm going to give you till Sunday to get this done because obviously it's a little complicated. It takes some time. However, by this evening at 11:45, I want to know the name of your story, the conflict, and the setting. The one thing I didn't add here, which I'm going to add to it, is I want to know what type of story it is. Is it overcoming the monster? Is it Rags to Riches, the quest, Voyage and Return, or what have you? So I want to make sure that you answer those that question as well as these other ones this evening. So this isn't a long video, and the reason it's not long is because we've gone over every single one of these facets earlier in the semester, so everyone should know what they are. Everyone's seen a story structure. Everyone knows what plot, setting, main, secondary characters, in other words, all the elements of fiction are. Everyone knows what a story arc is. Everyone knows what figurative language is. All right, so we're not going to talk too much about it anymore. I'm just going to sit back and let you do your thing. Remember, by this evening, I want you to post in a discussion the name of your story, the conflict and the setting, and also what type of story it is based upon the 7 categories we talked about earlier. All right, that's it for this lesson. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the classroom. Bye.